Welcome to my book review of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by John Gray. OMG! This was released in 1992. I can't believe that I've never actually read it. It is amazing. It really, really is. I know there's some people that it's quite contentious, this book, I believe. I don't really know that much about it, but I loved it. And I love the universe because when I need a solution and I put it out there that I need some help or whatever, I'm always guided. And I have like 32 books in my spare room to pick up, and I picked this one up randomly one day and I just didn't put it down. I literally read it in probably less than 2 days, and I will reread it again, and I will read it with my partner. So yes, amazing. The first chapter, or chapter 2 actually, Mr Fixit and the Home Improvement Committee. So he talks about that when a woman needs to express their feelings and talk about their feelings, and they just want to talk, and the guy goes to Mr Fixit and he thinks, oh, she needs a solution. The Martian thinks the Venusian needs a solution, and he goes to Mr Fixit. And then, of course, the woman gets upset because she just wants to be heard and she just wants to be listened to. So there's some real good learnings there. But the major thing that I learned was the Home Improvement Committee. I am the Home Improvement Committee. So I see something that could be improved in my partner and I suggest it. I give advice. I say things like, you don't drink enough water, darling. You drink so much water, or that's because you don't drink enough water. And we have this whole thing, my partner and I, around drinking water. So, and I'm just wanting to improve him, and I love him and I want the best for him, and I think that drinking water will be the best for him. However, the Home Improvement Committee goes to town, and the man, feels criticised, judged, like he's not good enough and stuff. So real great kind of understanding around there. Another chapter that I got a lot from, women are like waves. So I didn't understand sometimes why I was like, oh my God, I'm so loving. Oh, I'm so not loving. Oh my God, I'm so not loving. Now I understand that from the perspective of hormones, so around my cycle maybe, like all things like that can happen, and mood shifts. But what this guy John Gray is saying is that women actually are like that. So we kind of go up and down. And so that was a real relaxation for me, because what it made me go was, I'm not different. There's not anything wrong with me. This is normal. I'm a normal Venusian. I'm from Venus, and my partner's from Mars, and we are different, and men and women are different. And sometimes I have tried in the past to suggest things to my partner that would be good for a woman, but maybe hasn't been so good for a man. And so lots of learning there around the differences between men and women, but yeah, also for me that it comes up and down, that it's not just like, it's just all there. There's a whole chapter on how to communicate your difficult feelings. For a lot of my clients, they come to me with childhood emotional neglect. They've suppressed their feelings through addiction, through behaviours, habits, so eating, drinking, smoking, drugs, procrastination even, overworking, lots of different ways to push down feelings, because when we were children, we got the message that your feelings don't matter. So there's a whole section in here on how to communicate those difficult feelings. First of all, to yourself, and to absolutely accept that it's okay to have these difficult feelings, and then to be able to communicate them to your partner. So there's a whole technique in there about how to do that. The most amazing thing, again, like a huge aha moment for me, was the last chapter. He kept the greatest bit to last for me. He talks about, excuse me, you may be feeling a lot of love for your partner, and the next morning you wake up annoyed and resentful. So you go to bed feeling love, and then you wake up annoyed and resentful. You can't imagine not loving your partner, and then the next day you have an argument. Your partner does something loving for you, but you actually get resentful. You're happy with your partner, and then suddenly you feel insecure. You are attracted to your partner, and then he makes a commitment and you lose that attraction. You feel good about yourself and your life, and then boom, you feel unworthy, abandoned, and inadequate. Wow. This I already knew from another one that I will review at another time, another book, Hearts in Harmony. But one day we're feeling loved, and the next day we're afraid to love. So what's happening here is repressed feelings are coming up to be resolved. So whenever we are loving ourselves more or being loved by others, repressed feelings tend to come up and temporarily overshadow our loving awareness. And that's been happening for me a lot lately because I feel so loved and so safe in my relationship with Julian. My repressed feelings have decided it's okay now to come up and be healed and released. So yes, I've become irritable, defensive, critical, resentful, demanding, numb, angry, all these things that he talks about. Feelings that I couldn't repress in past relationships or just from my past suddenly flood our consciousness because we're safe to feel. Love thaws out our repressed feelings, and gradually these unresolved feelings begin to surface into the relationship. So the more I can heal and release my unresolved feelings from the past, knowing that it's not about the relationship, it's not about my relationship with my partner, that he says we're all walking around with a bundle of unresolved feelings, wounds from our past that may have laid dormant in us. And when we feel safe to be ourselves, our hurt feelings come up, which is an amazing thing for my relationship because I feel safe to be myself. I feel loved enough that this stuff can come up. So for years I've suppressed painful feelings, and then one day I fall in love, and love makes us feel safe enough to open up and become aware of our feelings. Love opens us up and we start to feel our pain. And so not only does he talk about the differences, 10 out of 10 for me, 10 out of 10 this one, not only does he talk about the differences between men and women and how we're different and give me some tips on how to work through those things, he also talks about how the past comes up and can affect a relationship. And that's the moment when a lot of people go, this is too much, this is because of my partner, and we leave and we walk away. As I mentioned in a previous review, my programming was that, it's easier and safer to be alone. And when all this unresolved stuff comes up, you go, oh, it's because of the relationship. See, it's easier and safer to be alone because I don't have to feel my past hurt. But if I can work through my past hurt using techniques in this book and many other techniques that I'm aware of and that I teach my clients, I can resolve all those feelings and have a loving relationship. And as the title of that chapter says, keep the magic of love alive. So 10 out of 10, highly recommend it if you're in a relationship. Highly recommend it if you're in a relationship where things are coming up from the past or you're having difficulties when things have been great. Highly recommended it if you're single and you want to get a loving relationship, because you can start resolving some of those things from your past and then create, the relationship that you want. Highly recommended.